Mattia Binotto will leave Ferrari at the end of the year after disappointing results, and this means that Binotto is a free agent on the market for other teams. And it's been rumoured that no other than Mercedes could be in the market for the Ferrari veteran. Will Binotto fit in at Mercedes? Could he help them in the technical department? Let's dive in. Toto Wolff, the boss of Mercedes Formula One, believes Mattia Binotto stayed in control of Ferrari longer than I thought, because a strain on that job makes being forced out unavoidable. Binotto was promoted from Chief Technical Officer to Ferrari Team Principal at the beginning of 2019, but has now resigned and will leave the company at the end of December. His departure came after widespread suspicion that Ferrari was intending to replace him, and it was widely seen as him being forced out of their organisation, where he had spent his entire career. While in command of their respective teams, Binotto and Wolff had a difficult relationship, most notably during Binotto's first year as team manager, when there were questions about the legality of Ferrari's engine, which ended in an FIA inquiry and a private settlement. This incident triggered rule changes that severely harmed Ferrari's engine performance in 2020, resulting in 2 winless seasons before a comeback with the new technical standards of 2022. However, Binotto came under growing pressure as operational mistakes and a lack of growth prevented Ferrari from converting its potential into a genuine title contender. Mattia and I had our moments, it's no secret over these many years, Wolff said in an interview for F1's official Beyond the Grid podcast. But in a way, we consolidated that in 2022. We were in a much better place. It was always clear that he was under tremendous pressure. Being a team principal at Ferrari, you better have a good contract for your exit. And now, probably the unavoidable happened. But he held on to it longer than I thought. Wolff has faced 4 different Ferrari team leaders since entering F1, first with Williams and then with Mercedes since 2013. During the V6 turbo hybrid era, Stefano Domenicali, Marco Mattiacci, and Maurizio Arrivabene were all fired as team principals. Ferrari has been chastised for not giving senior management more time, and Wolff claims the legendary Italian team is under absolutely greater pressure than any other. "You're representing Ferrari. You're representing the whole country," said Wolff. "And they ride you up, they ride you down, but with brutality." So yeah, certainly team principal of Ferrari, there is more pressure. Probably as an Italian even more, because as a foreigner you just don't read the news. But as an Italian, clearly you're in the firing line. Wolff feels Binotto would never be allowed to join Mercedes because of his history with the team, but he believes he could be of interest to other teams because he understands Formula One through and out. In terms of who would replace him at Ferrari, Wolff said he couldn't understand why the team hasn't been able to find someone Italian with the power and intelligence to withstand the company's special demands, even though it is the most exciting job in Italy. Since Jean Todt, who led Ferrari's most successful time, stepped down after the 2007 season, the club has solely had Italian managers. Current Sauber CEO and team principal Fred Vasseur is generally regarded to be the likely replacement for Binotto, with several F1 executives like McLaren chief Andrea Seidel rumoured to have been approached by Ferrari but turned down the position. Wolff believes that the future Ferrari team principal will need to understand F1 and would not work as an outside appointment. It's such a niche, where the sport, the regulations, the governing body, the commercial rights holder, the competitors, all of us basically locked in this paddock cage, said Wolff. You need to be politically astute. It's a very niche specialist environment, and the more you know about the sport, the better it is. But you don't want to be a one-trick pony. You can be a good racing manager and not understand anything that's going on commercially outside in the world. Wolff is devoted to running Mercedes and owns 1/3 of the Formula One team. He did, however, say that if the job had been offered to him a decade ago, he would have taken it. Everybody who says he wouldn't have been interested in being team principal of Ferrari just simply doesn't tell the truth, said Wolff. I have to pinch myself that Daimler gave me the opportunity of becoming a managing partner and co-shareholder. It's something that I feel tremendously proud of. But equally, if Ferrari would have come around the corner, miraculously offered me such a position, it would have been the same. So coming back to the comments Wolff made on Binotto joining Mercedes, if anyone, including Mattia Binotto, ever believed Mercedes may be a good place for him to go after leaving Ferrari's Formula One team, that option has been ruled out. It's difficult to predict where a Ferrari lifer will go after Maranello, but as a respected engineer who reached to the top technical position at Ferrari before becoming team principal, Binotto possesses a wide range of abilities that would appeal to many F1 teams. Mercedes, on the other hand, is not one of them. Toto Wolff, team manager, stated on F1's Beyond the Grid podcast that there has been too much porcelain broken between us over the last 2 years for this to be viable. That's a reference to a feud that has largely been forgotten because of Ferrari's massive and unexpected drop in competitiveness in 2020. Mercedes easily defeated a flawed Ferrari title campaign in 2019 with a strong first half of the season. However, during the summer break, Ferrari became an extremely difficult to beat rival on a race-by-race basis, with a run of 6 consecutive pole positions. This raised questions about the legality of the Ferrari power unit, and the regulatory body, the FIA, was suspicious that Ferrari was breaking fuel flow or oil burning restrictions, or both, so it conducted its own inquiry behind the scenes. The FIA subsequently concluded that it couldn't prove anything, but it did strike a private deal with Ferrari months later. Meanwhile, Wolff was growing increasingly enraged with what Ferrari was doing, and keep in mind, this was Binotto's first year as team leader after managing its technical department, so Binotto was undeniably the target of Wolff's wrath. It irritated Wolff so much that his customary calm and calculated demeanor in front of the media was routinely put to the test, with spikes of emotion visible. Wolff said early in 2021 that there are people who have lost my respect forever over the last few years, and it would not be surprising if Binotto was on that list at the time. Especially when Wolff went on to discuss the impact of Ferrari's efforts had on Mercedes and its high-performance powertrain section, bringing the organization to the brink of burnout as it attempted to counteract what it perceived as unethical techniques. There were even rumors that this was what drove Mercedes' HPP genius Andy Cowell out the door. The FIA's response to the Ferrari engine crisis was to apply technical guidelines that addressed concerns surrounding the areas of suspicion. And suddenly, Ferrari had a major performance shortfall in 2020, which is somewhat recovered in 2021, but only fully corrected this year. Mercedes fell at the start of the 2022 technical regulations, while Ferrari restored to race-winning form. That means that, following a heated rivalry in 2019, Wolff and Binotto have never actually faced off again. Perhaps this contributed to Wolff and Binotto making apparent headway to a more amicable relationship this year. Nonetheless, the aftermath from 2019 was so severe that there is still far too much bad blood between the two of them to ever be colleagues. Stating this, we would be amazed to see Binotto working for Mercedes, but we've seen crazier things happen in the world of Formula 1. And let's not forget the fact that Binotto is a genius in the technical department, so the team that ends up recruiting Binotto could be expected to improve a lot on the technical side. Perhaps he could move to a team like Alfa Romeo. He even could end up as team principal, as current team principal Fred Vasseur has been the #1 target for Ferrari to get in as their new team principal. Where do you think Mattia Binotto will end up next year? Or will he be without a job for the foreseeable future? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And let us know if you'd like to see Binotto working at Mercedes. We'd love to hear your thoughts about the matter. Enjoyed the video? Be sure to subscribe to see more of our content in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.